Welcome back. You are watching Side Piece.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Side Piece, your gateway to Southern California's underground music and art scene. I'm William.
And I'm Aiden, and we're here to take a look at the artists, sounds, and stories that often get overlooked.
This week, we're going to be talking about organizing anarchy on our very first episode of Side Piece.
Awesome. So join us.
Oh, what the hell? He's got a scroll. Anarchy!
Anarchy, the breakdown of law and order, a chaotic reign of terror, mob rule and rioting, the collapse of government authority.
We're here today at Fullerton College to start off our show. We have this tent, we have a table and chair set up, we have a whiteboard saying opinions on anarchy. So we're going to see who all comes up, wants to talk about their opinions on it. Hopefully get some good interviews.
Oh, get some good interviews, get some stats. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
All right, we'll catch you guys. So the first question I usually start out with is the first time you heard of anarchy, like first time you saw the word, heard the word, was it in a good or a bad light, like positive or negative light?
I think the first time most people hear the word anarchy, it's disassociated from a political ideology. So I think inherently it's going to have a different context always. And I think the traditional definition of anarchy is considered lawlessness or lack of structural imposition of rules. But I think that for me, later on, once I learned the actual political idea of anarchy and the different subsets and cultures, it was a very different understanding. But I do think inherently most people hear the term anarchy and there's either a negative or a contrarian opinion behind it.
Negative. Negative light.
Negative, what about you?
It was a positive. It was a positive.
So where did you hear about it? How did you hear about anarchy first?
Just watching different videos, and usually it's of anarchists with different antisocial behaviors attributed to them, as far as like making a big scene or destroying public property. Or
Okay. And
It was actually a teacher that I TA'd for in high school, and he's just the coolest guy ever. But yeah, he kind of talked about it in a really positive sense. It was just kind of a fun thing.
Everybody has different kind of ideas of what anarchy really is, and that's what matters. If someone sees anarchy as something where there's no authority whatsoever, and there's no cohesion, social cohesion, then that's one way of looking at it. And maybe someone else can see it as there's no kind of traditional authority, but there can still exist like groups, and there can still exist laws, like social laws, that sort of thing.
From my understanding, it's a complete and total lack of rules.
Yeah.
Entirely and wholly without restriction. The whole point is to not have restriction, and by creating a system with a set of rules that is to have no rules, that is thereby removing the whole point, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's removing it from being anarchy. If there's a system in place, then people can't do what they want.
So it's interesting because, like, you know, a lot of people give anarchy a bad rap, but if you really do your, like, I've looked a little bit into anarchy. It's not as bad as people can make it out to be, you know? You know, you'll often hear someone say, like, oh, it's anarchy whenever crazy things are happening. But anarchy doesn't necessarily mean that, because in the end, our government fails us anyway. You know, in most places in the world, the government fails you. And there are many countries where the government fails you so badly that anarchy is basically just happening anyway, you know? So it's like, anarchy, I feel like anarchy is as bad as the community is.
I think it could work on a much larger scale, removing all the history from what we know.
Yeah.
But that's you get a whole other set of problems doing that.
Yeah.
As well.
The disparities and differences in our wants and needs are not so different that we can exist without a higher authority, right?
Yeah.
It necessitates people being able to live together without destroying ourselves, right? And I think that means that anarchists might have a better idea of humans, of human nature. They might think we're ultimately good, right?
Yeah.
In order to believe something like that.
Yep.
In other words, the road to oblivion is paved with good intentions.
So, final thoughts. The final thoughts. Pro or con? You pro or you against?
I'm super con. No, I'm just kidding. I'm super conscious that I am a anarchist, and I believe that anarchy is a positive social movement that decentralizes governments and allows people to have more power in their hands to be able to self-govern and grow as a group of people instead of growing under a capitalistic system that pits you against your person.
So to get a better understanding of anarchy, we had to go out into the field. So tonight, me and Will, we are going to a punk show in East LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. It's a ska punk show, actually, which is really cool, because I get a lot of hate for liking ska, but you know what? I'm going to be living my dreams tonight.
I actually like ska punk. Got no problem with it. I like its freaking dee, 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 dee. You know, it's very upbeat. It's what I need, man. You
Love
know?
the horn sections.
We're gonna move. We're gonna get nasty with it. Oh, he's loving it.
We're getting wrist deep.
We're gonna get wrist deep. How does it fit?
Welcome. Thank you.
It's our first midterm.
Hey.
Local filmmakers, and we have some questions for you.
Can you guys put effects on me or no?
Yes, we can.
We got you.
All right.
So, okay.
Can you make me look like an alien filter with big like dumb eyes?
What are your initial thoughts when you hear the word anarchy? Like, you know.
I think it's I don't like it. I don't like it. We should be peaceful.
Agreed.
You know what I'm...
When you hear the word anarchy, what are some of the first words that come to your mind?
Hell yeah.
Fight. Oh, awesome. So when you first heard about anarchy, like whoever told it to you, wherever you saw it, was it portrayed in a positive or a negative light?
I think it was a negative way during like history class, like in high school. Like it was always just deemed as like how bad communism is, and it's like okay, like I don't think it's that bad. It's not that bad.
It's kind of seen like as like super idealist. Just kind of not the best life, but that's cool.
Would you think anarchy could work? Maybe not large scale, it won't end anytime soon, but in smaller communities, you think we can make an anarchistical system work even under a bigger government?
I feel like in now's generation, it's gonna be hard. We definitely can, but there's just so many other aspects, you know, like the scene and everything that kind of dilute it, and people don't care for the message, they don't care for the facts.
In my opinion, I think anarchy is cool, but I feel like a lot of people throw it as like a buzzword now. Yeah. Like, you know that movie everyone was talking about, that punk movie? Which one is it? The one, that dude from Scream and Scooby-Doo was in that one. That shit is the most out. I'm sorry, but that shit is so dorky. I think that's what made me like stray away from the punk scene for so long. Yeah. Because I'm seeing white middle-class kids being like, anarchy! And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up, please. That's why I don't stand on it. I wouldn't really want to say like, you know, it, let's have no rules, because in the end of the day there's going to be a jackass who ruins it all, you know? Amen. Yeah. So in my opinion, I believe that there should be no form of government that really controls the people. You know, we're learning this in political science, you know? We got a fucking government that's not direct democracy. We got to vote for someone to vote for us. That's bullshit. What the fuck? Because let's be for reals, if I get an education to represent my people, that doesn't represent anyone. Think about it. Most of my people don't get an education. Most of them say, fuck it, let's be mechanics. Fuck it, let's do fucking manual labor. I don't represent them. And that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I like music because of that. Because anyone could pick up the fucking, like, the bass, the guitar, the drum.
Us humans choose not to live a loving, happy life. Before you change and become the beautiful person as you are, that I can see right through your eyes, you gotta suffer. The message I have for our beautiful people is before you do things, you think about what you do. If it's gonna be a benefit to make your life better and you be happy, that's the way to go.
Side piece will be back after these messages. Side piece. Let's tune into the frequencies of time for our next segment. Please welcome Kat for small talk.
I haven't done acting in years. Adam, unless you know this now, you should totally number these questions. I kept losing my place way too much. Also, I'm congested. Please ignore me. What up, Side Piece listeners? Kat here, and welcome to Small Talk. We're going to be taking a quick detour to answer some of your burning questions. So, without further ado, let's go dive in. Question number 1. What's a belief that you held strongly in the past, and then now you completely disagree with that, and what caused that shift? That pineapples do go on pizza. I'm gonna say it. Like, I went to a party, and I showed up super late to that party, and that's all they had left. And I was hungry, I didn't eat all day, and I tried it, and I was like, man, this is good. You know, like the sweet savory combo? Peak. And I'm gonna stand by that. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lie, but I ain't gonna lie about this. This is really good. Try it. Question number 2. Have you ever stayed in a relationship or a friendship longer than you should have purely out of fear of being alone? Absolutely. I have a huge fear of being alone, and honestly, I feel like I still would have been in that relationship if my frontal lobe didn't fully develop. I know my self-worth. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I want now. But that wouldn't have happened if my frontal lobe didn't fully develop. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Question number 3. What's a secret fantasy or desire that you've never told anyone about, and why have you kept it hidden? I used to have the hugest crush on the cinnamon stick from the Apple Jacks commercial. I'm not talking about the current cinnamon stick that you see on the box. No, not him. I'm talking about the cinnamon stick from like the early 2000s, that guy. He was fine. Obviously, you could tell why I kept that a secret for years. Until now, supposedly. Question number 4. What's the time that you intentionally sabotage something because you were afraid of success? First off, my lisp. Second off, does deleting my Ring door footage count after being out till 4 in the morning? I have strict Filipino grandparents. Like, I'm not trying to get in trouble. Honestly, every time I see that little Ring doorbell, I pray for its downfall every day. I live right next to a school. Why can't just a kid just grab a baseball and just chuck it straight at it? Please. Final question. What was the one thing that you were most afraid of people finding out about you, and what were the consequences that you fear? That I'm not all what I'm meant up to be. Like, I feel like people have such high expectations when they meet me, or they have like some type of image in their head of me, and like I can just never meet it. And then when I can't meet it, they have a whole different view of me, and I used to be scared that they would leave, but honestly, I don't really care anymore. Like, I really don't. Like I said, maybe it's the frontal lobe fully developing, but like, all I need is myself and I'm just chilling. And that was all the time we had left for small talk. If you have any more questions, and if you would like to send them into the show, you should hit our email, our Instagram, or down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next time.
Side piece.
So Will, after the last 2 weeks of looking at Anarchy and talking to like plenty of people, going to a show in East LA, and pretty much just going on this wild journey, what are your thoughts on Anarchy?
So, we had a lot of people talking about their versions of Anarchy, and I feel like everyone in each interview that we did, they had a different definition of what Anarchy means to them. But overall, Anarchy as an idea, I think they all agreed that human nature is the only block to us actually having an anarchistic society.
They all did,
So
yeah.
we had like a couple of people seeing it as like a freedom and like a very community-centered expression, like a community-centered way of living. Others saw it kind of as like a chaotic, no rules at all kind of person against person world.
Actually, interesting enough, a lot of people saw it as a good solution to bring about change. The only thing that they kept getting caught up on the idea of organizing anarchy. Organizing anarchy. That's been the buzzword. That's the title of the video, So, can we organize anarchy? In my opinion,
I think it's about, when it comes to organizing anarchy, and I think, again, it's just about finding the right people. And this is what I was saying in a couple of the interviews. I would ask, is it possible to create an anarchistic society within the bounds of a larger government? As like a closing, for me at least, anarchy makes us question like the power and the systems that we're underneath, And even if I personally believe that human nature gets in the way of creating a perfectly anarchistic society, the questions that it sparks about like government, about control, and about society in general, and about human nature, are pretty much invaluable. Like, it's amazing. Too many people rely on the government, rely on your friends, rely on your family. And if you can't rely on your friends or family, find new friends and have a family that you would want to rely on.
Grow a garden, become a farmer.
Exactly.
No, literally, welcome to America 2025. Become a farmer, man, Become a farmer, open yourself one of those public libraries and fill it with, the Communist Manifesto and other forbidden knowledge. Do something, man, because if we don't, they will. And who's the they and them? The government, anyone in your life. If you're not making a step to be a positive change in your life and on others' life, someone will go out of their way to step on you. So
yeah, 100%.
Keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
Do something fun. Become a farmer. Hey, but with that in mind, thank you guys for watching. I'm Aiden.
And I'm Will.
And hey, this has been Side Piece, Episode 1, Organizing Anarchy!
Hell yeah!
We will see you in the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you later. Peace, peace.
Adios.
That works with me.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for watching Side Piece. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and follow.